I'm your host, Jeff Sart. We're going to take you behind the scenes with the craft distillers who are pouring their heart and soul into crafting the next version of America's spirit. This is the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Welcome to this edition of the Great American Whiskey Cookers follow-up tasting. We're here at the Bourbon Bunker, and I'm joined by some friends of the show. Thad, otherwise known as the Big Human, who you've seen before, and Rob, who you've seen before. And we have a new guy, new friend of the show, Tom, right?
Yep.
So Tom, tell the viewers, who are you and what do you do? Because I think it's kind of interesting.
Tom Haverkamp. I'm a professional winemaker at a small local winery. Been doing that for about 13 years. And so yeah, definitely interested in trying some whiskey today.
So tasting alcohol is nothing new to you.
Right.
Right? So you taste your wine on a frequent basis. However, what we're tasting is going to be higher proof than wine. So I'll kind of walk you through that a little bit. We're going to try this blind. So the guys, I'm not giving them any information other than the fact that we're doing whiskey. That's all there is to it. They don't get to know the proof. They don't get to know the label, the brand, nothing. And we're going to get their unvarnished opinions, good or bad. The only rule on this is if you don't like it, which is possible, right? You got to tell us why you don't like it so that the distiller has an idea of whether or not they want to change anything or not. That's the only rule, okay? So go ahead and take your glass. I've already poured this in another room. They have no idea what this is. Kirk, our other executive producer, I do have a glass here for you in case you want it, which I know he does. And I have a whiskey wheel here for you. So you're gonna bring this to your nose. It's higher proof. You're gonna bring it to your nose kind of slowly so you don't blow out your nose and you don't blow out your nostrils. And you're gonna wanna approach both nostrils because sometimes each nostril will smell something a little bit different. And just like wine, just like tasting alcohol, what kind of emotions does it bring? What kind of flavors does it evoke? What does it remind you of? What are you thinking of when you get to it? So bring that and let's nose it first.
I cannot put my finger on what I'm smelling. I got a nice vanilla, but there's something else in there that I can't put my finger on.
This is going to be so much fun.
I think I'm getting vanilla too.
Are you?
Yeah.
And when you bring it up to your mouth, again, because it's higher proof, much higher proof than wine, right? Let it touch your lips and just sit there for just a second before you take a small drink so it doesn't blow out your palate completely.
Okay.
You're not just getting shocked by it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are you getting on the nose?
Honestly, I know I've had this one before, and I'm gonna be very, very poor for this one because, yeah, good or bad, I'm just gonna have a bad opinion because this reminds me of we'll just say a bad night at college. That's nothing to say about this, but there are certain notes there that I have very strong memories. I mean, very strong correlation.
I can completely back up this story.
Yeah, he was there for it. So, yeah.
We've all had those notes.
Yeah.
We've all had those notes.
You really think it's that one, huh?
I think it is.
Well, I'm
definitely getting the same.
Hey, man.
That or it has very similar notes to it.
Okay.
My flavor calibration's off. That's all I think. But like now that you're saying that, I'm like, well, it could be that one.
Yeah, I mean,
One of the few I'd like.
besides that, I might say like potpourri. Like,
Oh yeah.
So go ahead and try it. Put it on your tongue, put it on your palate. See what you're getting.
Oh, there's a bubble gum.
Pick up a bubble gum.
Yeah, I got a bubble gum now.
Is it thin?
Yeah.
Is it viscous? Is it heavy? Is it oily?
Then
Is it a good mouthfeel? Is it a mouthfeel? And then what's it like on your back palate? So how does it finish? Does it linger? Does it stick around, or does it just kind of evaporate?
well, the flavor is definitely different than the aroma. Fortunately, I'm not picking up on the same compounds that, like I said, that strong correlation.
Sure.
Definitely a little bit sweeter. Bubble gum. Yeah, I know I've tried this. I'm pretty sure this is one that I've tried before, and bubble gum is exactly how I've described it before.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a little bit of a bite to it. Not bad.
And you're not a normal whiskey drinker.
Oh no, not by any means.
Yeah, I mean, you drink whiskey what?
Once every couple weeks or something like that. So
you're like probably a very typical whiskey drinker, pretty casual. Every once in a while, you might have a whiskey, but you're drinking most of the wine.
yes,
Right.
Yeah. I dabble. So
I still can't get what that note is that I'm hitting on, and it's nice. It's good, but I can't put it a label on it.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit of coffee bean. Is that a weird?
Did you say coffee bean?
Yeah, coffee bean.
Oh, that's interesting. Cool. And that's very possible because, again, every person's palate is a bit different. So you can't go by, if I say it's this, it might not be that to you at all. It might be something complete. It might be coffee bean to you.
Aftertaste reminds me, I've got these like little chocolate covered coffee beans that come in a little tin at home.
Sure.
They're just like pick-me-ups, right? It lingers, like the aftertaste is kind of like...
Hey, let me stop you. There's supposed to be little pick-me-ups, so I'm not supposed to eat a handful of them at a time. Because that's what I usually do.
I mean, they're legal.
Damn.
So like...
I got to rethink this. But yeah, so if that's what you're getting, that's a very cool flavor. I never would have pegged that, but that's a very cool flavor. Tom, what do you think?
Well, I don't drink coffee, so I'm not getting that coffee flavor personally. But
Sure.
like you said, everybody has their own palate. That's one of those things I like to say in the winery is that people pick up on different things. It's just based on previous experiences, different associations, stuff like that. I'd say I'm definitely getting that like medium oak in there for sure, which of course it's oak, like any whiskey. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not huge on the aroma, but that's just due to prior associations. The flavor I do like.
And the finish, what about the finish?
It's long.
Long for you?
Yeah. And it's at the back of the palate.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say medium to long, but definitely on the back for sure.
Okay.
It's pleasant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it?
There's just a little bit of a bite to it, but I still am trying to put my finger on that one note to basically identify that what this is.
Do, isn't it?
And I'm sitting there going, you got to smile. And oh, wow.
I feel like I'm getting a little herbal tea off of it too.
Oh, very cool.
Herbal tea, interesting.
Yeah, very cool.
Having looked at that, like herbal tea kind of jumped out at me.
So what Rob's making reference to is I have a bourbon flavor wheel sitting here in front of us, and Rob also has a tablet that has it on it. So I often use that to try and peg the flavors. You should use it on a regular basis if you have it, and you're kind of new to whiskey, or even if you're experienced. I still come back to it all the time, just to try to find it. You might want to add a little bit of water with it.
Oh, yeah.
Add just a drop, and see if it opens it up. Rob has almost drank all of his.
It's good.
You like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
Just a drop to see if it opens it up.
I'm just gonna sneeze it.
That sounds like something you do.
Oh, that was too much. I cannot pour out of these.
Why can I just not put my finger on this?
I mean,
That opens it up even more, and I still just can't
Yeah.
put my finger on this.
I'm getting like a chocolatey something.
Chocolatey
I
note?
mean, like coffee bean and chocolate kind of go together, I think.
Sure.
So,
Okay. You should drink whiskey the way you like it, whichever way that is, whether it's with water, whether it's with ice, whether it's with soda, be a clear soda or a colored soda, dark soda. Drink whiskey the way you want and the way it's pleasant to you. That's what it really comes down to.
That opens it up, but even more, but I still can't put my finger exactly on that. It's a pleasant smell. It's got that chocolate smell to it.
So for me, I get this kind of sweet, and Kirk has heard me say this before, I get this kind of sweet, waxy Halloween candy feel out of it.
yeah.
That's what I get out of this. Remember like the wax lips and the stuff that we would get when we were kids? I don't even know if they still make them any longer. That sweetness from that, that's what I get out of this. That's what it reminds me of. It takes me back to that almost immediately.
Now that you say that, we also mentioned bubblegum before. Like I said, if this is what I think it is, the way that I described it before is the smell of the inside of a bubblegum wrapper.
Okay.
You helped me out with that descriptor actually a few weeks ago. So,
So this is what we're drinking.
Okay.
Iowa Legendary Rye. This is made in Carroll, Iowa, right next to the town of Templeton, Iowa. You know that name because you know what comes from there supposedly, right?
Yeah.
This is what Iowa Legendary Rye refers to as time machine whiskey. This is made, they make it on really small pot stills. If I remember right, they're 5-gallon or 10-gallon. Kirk, refresh me if I'm wrong on this. And guys, if I get this wrong, Heath, I apologize if I got that wrong. But they age them in really small barrels, 15-gallon barrels, if I remember right. So that's where the oak is coming from, and that's why you might be getting some of that really kind of heavy vanilla, right? Thad's going back to the other one. He's pulling it from this.
We had some of that last night.
You had,
Oh, is that one?
Yeah, it's that
Okay.
one.
That's
It's
why
the same place, but
that's why you're tasting. That's why you
Okay,
said,
the similar flavors then.
Yes.
So it is a different bottle. Okay.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And last time you guys chose that one and I chose the red. So
Right. And the proof on this,
give me a shot.
thinking, sorry. So this is what we're drinking, Iowa Legendary Rye. Again, it's made in Carroll, Iowa. They call it Time Machine Whiskey. It's 80 proof. It's super approachable.
Oh, yeah.
Super easy.
yeah.
Really cool guys, and it's a great story. The Lorene Sextro and Frank Sextro, they're kind of the parents of this. You got to watch the video and kind of see the entire story, but they're actually making it the way that they were making it during Prohibition.
Are you switching over?
And they're aging
Still
it
in the
in
black.
small barrels because that's how they did it during Prohibition. Watch the video to see the story of why they use small barrels. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to watch the video. So, again, Time Machine Whiskey. Outside of Iowa, it's under the label of Sextros, S-E-X-T-R-O-S, Sextros Whiskey. In Iowa, it's called Iowa Legendary Rye. And they've got 4 different SKUs or 4 different expressions. The black, the red, which is double-aged. They have white, which is an unaged whiskey. And then they have the purple, which is double distilled and double aged as well. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's incredibly tasty.
Yeah, I read that it takes 4 bottles of the black to make the one.
It does. It takes 4 barrels.
Sorry, barrel.
To make 1 barrel of the purple, because they double distill it. So, would you keep this on your bar?
Like I said, I have
haven't.
previous associations. Besides that, the flavor is good. So, toss up for me. Other than that, it is good. So,
And that previous association can color a lot of things.
it really does. Positive or negative. So,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
For rye, it doesn't bite. There is no bite to it.
oh, that is rye.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And that's what he got me on, and how he introduced me to rye is because of these. And it is phenomenal. I keep mentioning to everybody I know, they need to find this. Both of them. I don't care. They are phenomenal. I love both of them.
So technically, this does not fall in the rye whiskey category because the way that they made it in Prohibition, watch the video, Heath goes through a really good explanation of how they made it. But it's actually a rum with rye put in it. And that's really what you're drinking here. And that's rye, which is how they made it in Carroll and Templeton, Iowa, which is where that legacy comes from. This is really what they were making, not rye whiskey the way that's defined today. That's the difference in this whiskey versus where you can go to the store and go buy of the other rye whiskey.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit in 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, thanks for doing this and for taking this and for your opinions on this. I'm Jeff Starr, your host for the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Please check us out on the socials. Better yet, go to Patreon, subscribe. You can get access to some exclusive content, some other behind-the-scenes stuff, and you might get invited to sit here and join us on a follow-up. Until next time, can't be good at it. See ya.
Thank you.
Now we're trying this one, and I feel like I've learned the intricacies of what this one tastes like, right? And now I can fully appreciate
Try it
this
as an
one.
old fashioned.
Oh, the black?
No,
The,
I don't
red.
care. I don't care whichever one.
That would be
Try
good.
it as an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Because it pops the floral into it.
oh, okay.
And it just, oh, it's so good.